welcome to another live dev stream. My name is Eyal, and I'm from the company Modalics, and I'm doing these streams where I'm coding a new music composition software. So this software, as I've said in the previous streams, is an algorithmic composition software, which would let the user kind of express ideas using these sort of rules and functions and things like that. Yeah, so hopefully audio is okay. Hopefully video is okay, and I'll be starting to code here. Feel free to to write me things in the chat, ask me questions. I'm going to be around for a while, or until I get tired. We'll see. Yeah. So welcome everyone. This is my stream about coding a new music composition software that I'm writing. The idea is that there's going to be a set of rules that could be expressed using functions. Here I have a very rough draft that I've started to work on, and it's probably weird because I've been refactoring it and changing things, so probably half of it doesn't work. What it is that each of those rows is a function. Oh, there's no way to delete it, so I probably should add. But let's say one of these has something like a music piece, like what's shown here. It's like let's imagine this is a sequence of music. And transpose, it has the input of input from the music and from the this which is just a number. If I make it a larger number, it's going to be higher, right? Higher, lower, right? And then I can, for example, chain something like the output of the transpose and the original music, right? And create something longer. Now let's add another one, right? Let's create something that takes the output of this append and some other input, like the transpose, right? And then you can easily start to have these chains that create longer music from different things. Very soon we'll be adding, maybe today, we'll be adding a lot more of these devices that do hopefully meaningful things. And this is something that would allow you at the end, once there's a lot of work to be done. Sorry for this very horrible mock draft, but the idea is that it should eventually allow you to create these very complicated pieces of music and kind of chain ideas together in a very cool way that cannot be done this way in other composition software, let's call it. Yeah, so this is basically where I'm at. There's a lot of work to be done. Let's start by adding a delete button to these functions, because this is quite ugly. There's a lot of ugliness happening, but I'm gonna just try to put in some functionality as we go along, and eventually make it be something I guess comprehensible by human. So delete. Let's start with delete. So I'm gonna go to my UI code. This is something called, I think, block display. Oh, you know what? Maybe I did add delete. How did I get this menu? Oh, you know what? Maybe I did it already. I think I did it with right click. Let's see if it actually works. Maybe I just maybe I already have a delete function. My code shows like it's there at least. How's everyone doing today? I know that just so you know, this is something that I'm streaming on a few different places: Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. So you can write me something in the chat, and I would try to pass it along and put it on stream, pass it along to people watching somewhere else. So hopefully there will be some cross communication happening to the program. And I do have a delete, but it looks like this isn't triggering because something isn't capturing the so wait, this is block. Which one is this thing? Okay, this is I think the problem is this blocks Yeah, I think I think the delete functionality that I have is for something else. I think the delete for this, right? This is the delete I was looking at. So I need to delete for this row as well. Let's make sure that I have it. Let's see what my blocks are looking at so far. Yeah, here they are. Okay. Blocks, function inputs. Yeah, first of all, the name needs to be added on top of this, I guess. And maybe the name would be something I can use for the deletion just for this dev demo. Okay, so let's just add something like a, function def top or something. It's going to take, yeah, this would be good. Just this graph. I think this graph should be good enough, right? With this graph, can I delete itself? No, probably not. I need something else. I need something that would, yeah, I need something like the, oh, you know what? I might not need it. I think because this thing, I think this graph would let me access the map where this is created. So maybe this is fine. So I can just do, just initialize this with the graph, function def top, takes the graph, this would be a widget because this is going to show on screen. Let's have something like a text. I have some helpers. Text box here, text, which would show the graph name. I think would probably be a boring name at first, like A, B, C. Like there's some default name that gets associated with this object when it's first created. So I would just text semicolon, right? Is that what I'm missing? Oh, what's going on here? Expected semicolon? Why? Oh. Okay, good. So let's see what else. So I'm going to add this to the screen, add children, text. I think I also have this, I have some, let's have some background here, like generic. Solid fill BG, which would take helpers. Get label BG color. For now, I think this should be okay, right? Yeah, so let's add these BG text. Resize them, right? So I'll just do scale to fit. Scale to fit. BG. Okay. Okay, and then let's start with that. Let's see if this is going to show up. So this function inputs top graph. That's good. Top. And let's give some dimensions to the top. So the top would be 0.1. I think that's fine, but now I'm going to start this thing with 1.1 as well, and this would be just a little bit smaller. Let's start 0.2. Okay, how's everyone doing today, by the way? Thank you for watching this on the various networks where you're watching this. Hopefully everyone are doing okay. I will try to stop once in a while and explain what I'm doing, maybe have some more in-depth discussion if people have questions, etc. That will be good. How's the AI generated music sound to you? Okay, I added it, put it on the screen. Maybe it's gonna be fine just to show the label, and then I'll add a delete button. It's gonna be nice. Okay, so it's called A, B, C, D. Okay, this is what I wanted. So I have titles. Maybe let's start with that, and then let's now add the delete button that I wanted to add. So that means I would have something like a. So I'm just making a transparent button basically, which will not show, but will have the function of the function of doing the deletes. Avoid delete funk or something. Funk, not fuck. Delete funk. Call this with the lambda. No, it's not taking a function. I'm breaking out. Oh, it's not this. It's something like transparent. Transparent, transparent toggle. How do I call that? I have this thing already, right? It's not button transparent, or I'm blacking out. I have some other name for this, maybe. Oh, okay. So I guess I didn't create this. Have on mouse down on click. Oh, right. Okay, so I could probably just do. I'm just gonna add this and do button on click equals delete funk, and delete funk would just do two things. One would be and I actually think this should be an async function. Should be called an async way, because the actual graph here could be deleted under my feet while I'm still calling this. So no, maybe I'm already doing this. Maybe this function is already async. No, it's not. I need to make this async. So I need to do something like delete function itself is something like graph map erase or remove remove graph, right? Is that true? Remove and index. Okay, so it couldn't. I have to have remove by index. Why would I have a remove by index? Is this even used anywhere? I'm not certain. And it couldn't. Looks like for some reason it couldn't assume what this is. So remove. Maybe because it's a pointer, so it can be kind of, I guess, yeah, it couldn't know which one it is, so I need to make it a bit more clear. Okay, let's see what I can do here. Either create two functions, or let's call it raise or something, and then see if this is just gonna work. And I think what should probably do something like auto actual equals oh, and that's also interesting because there's something when I call this. Okay, there's something interesting here. I have something like this because I need to trigger this async update. Trigger update async. This is thing. Trigger update container is safe. How does this work? Yeah, right? Trigger update container. Yeah, because this is interesting, because I need to actually call this thing called the trigger update container after I call erase. Yeah, I think I've done that before. I think I have this pattern implemented. The idea is that this thing can actually be destroyed by this delete function. Like this, this itself would get destroyed. So I need to make sure that at least the pointer to the update container, which is somehow up in the hierarchy, is still can still be accessed before I'm deleting this. So I need something like update container trigger update async. I think that's it, right? Trigger update async. Yeah, it keeps the container, then it calls async, and it stores the pointer container. Yeah, I think that's the idea. Trigger update async. So that's funny. So I need something like actual delete func, actual equals. So it's something like graph map erase graph. And then, yeah, I actually think this is fine. And then I would just call this should trigger the update container, right? Trigger update async. Oh, so it's this actual. Yeah, something like that. I think this should work. Yeah, so this is called on click. That's good. Let's see what now. I need to add this thing to the screen, so button, and make it the same size as everything else. Hopefully this should be enough. Okay, that's great. So I managed to delete it, but I think I created this thing where I created the option to make it crash. I probably need to somehow protect this somehow. I'm not sure yet how. So, but let's see if I create 3 A, B, C, D. I should be able to just delete these. Okay, that's good. Okay, so I have a way to delete things now. That's good. That's better. Okay, that's great. Let's commit this, even though this thing can crash in so many ways. Let's do music UI. Added the option to delete a function from its header. Feel free to ask me questions about what I'm doing. I would try to take pauses and explain things while trying to somehow be productive and get things done. I'd be happy to take side steps to discuss why and what I am doing, and see if there's maybe an educational value to this as well. This would be nice if that's the case. Let's change the track. We're listening to some AI generated music that this streaming software provides. It's very random sounding. It sounds like music from Monkey Island from the 90s, right? Okay. So I added the delete thing. What else do I need to do? Okay, so I need to think about what's going to happen. There's a few things that are I already know that are completely wrong. So let's fix those first, so that we can move on, I guess, in a safer way. Looks so weird looking like this, right? Yeah, I need to start finding a better design for this because it looks kind of weird. Or I can probably look at Or's sketches and see if he did anything better. He's been designing stuff all day and yesterday and the day before, so I can. I know he's not finished, but yeah, is he like this? Devices should look a little bit like this. Maybe this is like one of the initial things we have. The idea is that these are supposed to represent types like number, boolean, and music, and these should represent, yeah, device and name or something, like the type and the name, maybe. I'm not sure what this is. Probably some reference. Okay. Okay. So the one thing I already know was a problem in my prototype is that I'm allowing connections. Yeah, so even within this, like, let's call this a device, this function. First of all, let's make it smaller so that I can fit more on screen. This is kind of annoying, so let's give it. Let's make it much smaller. The idea is that there's this thing called a block list data, and it's like basically these are instructions for the list of items. For example, it says what's the size of each thing. That's what this struct does. I think this would be too small, maybe. Right? A little bit too small. Let's try something like 20%. Oh, you know, yeah, I think this is the ratio, but yeah, there's information I need to think of how to fit other than putting really small fonts. Okay, this is better. And maybe now I can kind of adjust this thing somehow so that it will be a bit bigger, I guess. So each one of these is called a block display. This thing holds the type text box, name text box. Yeah. So let's add a little bit more to the type. Let's give it something like a yeah. So let's give it like 20% maybe. Then this would have 80%. Let's start from this. Okay, it's a little bit better. Yeah, I guess it's okay. Not great, you know. Looks pretty horrible still, but okay. Now, the next thing I want to do is I have a logical problem that I want to solve. So the problem is where I have, see here, I have 3. You know, but also maybe I just need also something. Just visually, it drives me crazy because each one of these is a thing. I don't know how to. First of all, this is like the most boring thing in the world, right? Because this doesn't do anything. I don't know yet how to make it look good with 0 inputs. The one thing I need to figure out here, and I can probably remove this thing on the bottom, this detail thing. I think it's not needed anymore because I built it into this. I can just remove block details box. Just not show it. Instead, make this thing be 0 until I have a full width. Oop. The question is, why am I the only one watching? Hey Hassan, you are actually not the only one watching. There's a few people on, because I'm just streaming this on a few different networks. So people watch this on my YouTube, on the Modalics YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, LinkedIn, Twitter, and I have people watching from different places. And I would try to, just like when you write something, I would try to move things, you know, move the comments from one network to another. I'm not sure if you're watching this on my YouTube or Modalics YouTube, but yeah, well, hopefully people will, you know, usually there's, people will join the stream over time and it will build up some, you know, a good hang. And if it doesn't, you can watch it later when it's posted as a full-on video. Yeah, so the story is I'm writing here a music composition software in C++. This gets quite technical, but the idea is this is an algorithmic composition tool. So the problem I've run into here with my really horrible mockup currently, my really horrible dev prototype, is that when I'm trying to connect this, you can see that this shows function graph, and this should not be legal, really, because this function graph basically is this, right? A function graph. Yeah, this should not work. This should crash. So I should find a way when I'm presenting the options to the user to prevent this from happening. And I'm not sure how to do this yet, so I want to think about this. So let's go to, first of all, I'll just commit this little change I did and say added delete option for the blocks. Right, this would be the first thing that I did. Now that I finished with that, let's think of so the way this happens currently. What happens is there's code inside each of those that says get possible connections, and I think this is not yet implemented perfectly. So the way this does currently, this is a thing called collect, which basically kind of goes up the hierarchy and tries to find all possible connections, and it just says, hey, check that this is not itself, and check that it has a matching type, because we have types in this language, like int, bool, stuff like that, in the presented language, not in the implementation language. And so I'm comparing types to see that if it's possible or not, but I also probably need to add something else. So what I need to test, I guess, it's gonna get interesting. I need to test I need to do some recursive test to see if my particular input is not somewhere downstream from this model, because otherwise I'll get some infinite recursion basically. And I might allow recursion at some points in this language, but probably if I'll add recursion, I'll need to add some exit condition or something more, that's more safer than what could happen here. So what I need to do is I need a way to, when I query the devices that exist, the functions that already exist in the scope, I need to find a way to prevent connection between a function, basically, and between an internal call to that function, right? Or internal expression within that function. How can I do that? I'll need to see, and I also need to do that recursively, because there could be a longer call stack, right? Yeah, that's interesting, because I need to think of all the ways where this could materialize. How can recursion take place here in every different form? Let's think of how this could be done. Like, one way is I can through this thing called the expression pointer, I can have something in the let's call it the interface that not just currently it's like I need a way to report what's connected to this thing, I guess down, right? Because I'm an internal function. I'm going to be running into the name of the function that I'm in, or some call stack that calls it, and I need to somehow collect everything down and see if one of these functions is the one that could cause problems. Let's see, how can we do this? One way, again, is to give something in the interface of expression that says report everything that you're talking to on your way down, which, if it's a regular expression, like, or just a standard expression, like if it's like a multiply, maybe it doesn't matter. Yeah, so let's do that. So let's do something like expression map. Yeah, so I should be able to do something like vector of I guess expression. So hello, Beat Sebastian, what are you working on? I am working on an algorithmic music composition software that's implemented kind of like a programming language, but visual. So it's kind of like a let's call it a functional programming language, a visual programming language, where you can specify stuff like rules to your music and build functions and stuff like that can do things like creating higher level of music from a few notes. Like, you can pass in a motive and say, hey, take my motive, repeat it 5 times, third time, randomize the order, reverse the order, quantize the scale, and kind of create this very long form thing from an amount of notes. So it's algorithmic music composition software. It's not a modular synthesizer. It's not a MIDI processor, even though it does MIDI. It's a music processor. I don't know if it makes sense, but hopefully over time it will make sense in what it is and what it does. Okay. So I think I need something like maybe a vector of expression pointer and say, right. Oh, thank you. I'm glad your people will get into it. It's interesting. It's not an idea that explored a lot, I think. Usually when stuff like that are explored is in the context of something like Max for Live or like modular synthesis, which has a different approach. Like you won't see the user here handling, holding note on, note off, and creating these lists, but more of like handling higher level musical phrases and stuff like that, and manipulation of those phrases. Okay. So I think I need something like virtual vector of expression pointer. I'm not sure rendering is correct, but I'm going to try to see if it's correct. Just something like get cold expressions or something. Const 0. No, not equals 0 actually. Let's have a default because most expressions will just do nothing here. So just return this. Yeah, so I'm going to start with this thing on the interface and see where it leads us. So the idea is that I'm going to put this in and then go to Swartax as well. Thank you for sticking around on the stream. So I'm trying to find a way to connect to basically reports these connections from an expression, from a function into the UI into the moment where the user is trying to make connection to prevent recursion, basically. So yeah, so let's see how I can do this. So I'm just going to go something where my function graph is called. This is where I'm holding the definition of a function. In here, yeah, so the idea is that here I can report these on here. Honestly, I probably can just return this vector of expression pointer. This is a bit of a safer way to do this. So instead of reporting this, I report a expression pointer. Or you know what? Maybe I don't know what expression pointer is by now. I probably don't. Yeah, because there's yeah. So maybe I'll report this. Yeah, let's start with that. Because an expression pointer gets is a type that gets known a bit later, right? Because otherwise there'd be some template recursion here, I guess. I'm gonna start with this because honestly I'm not even sure that this is the best way to do what I'm doing, but I will try to do this anyway. So I'm gonna do this. I'll implement get called expressions. And what this would do is I would go over autofunc body. Or maybe I'll do something else. No, this is fine. Because I need to also append the result of the result of this. I need to append the result of this to the calling vector, I guess. Because what happens, I think I've done this before. How did I do this? What was the get possible connections? How did I implement this? Oh, collect. So I said get expressions. Okay, this is the same thing pretty much. Okay, so before I pass, I guess, a vector, and I think this makes more sense because I will need to append the result recursively in case there's a bunch of function calls that call each other, which is possible here. Yeah, so let's try another way to express this. I wish I could put an expression graph in here, right? Or not expression graph, expression pointer, like this more higher level type that I've used instead of a raw pointer. Maybe I can. Maybe I can say, like, let's see if it's gonna work for me to I don't know how I can do this. How can I know what an expression pointer is? Because the type that depends on expression. Can I maybe I can do this. Maybe, you know what, because I think maybe I can do this in like an expression using I think it was like some weird C++ stuff. Maybe I can for declare this. I'm not 100% sure. Structs. Let's see exactly what an expression pointer is. Some more higher level type than just raw pointer or whatever. It's serializing pointer ID of t and expression container, blah 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 blah. So maybe I can. I don't know if it's gonna let me compile this. This is some weird C++ stuff, like have the basically this is it. Like, wow, there's a lot of type composing here, I guess. How am I going? I want to put this into the interface somehow. How can I do that? Using expression pointer. I'm not 100% sure how I can do this. Maybe. Okay, let me try something. Let's see if I have no idea if what I'm going to do is we'll even compile. So I'm just going to put everything in here. But I will also do struct expression with a forward declaration. I'm not sure this will compile, so we're going to find out pretty soon. So that I would do that because I eventually wanted to do virtual void with a vector of expression pointer. With auto return value, just an empty implementation. Let's see if this is going to let me compile. I'll be very interested to see. If this is going to compile, it's going to be fine. Yay, look at this compiles. It's good. Okay. We're moving here. We're moving. We've broken the C++ barrier. So let's implement get called expressions. And this, I mean, I can just return this body, I guess. But I also need to make sure that each of those things in the body also fills its own expressions, I guess. Yeah, so this is going to be something like the result. And then for to expression from the body of the function, I need to first of all, I need to do something like expression add or get called expressions. right? So each of those would need to do that. Then I need to add myself. So result add if not there expression. I think this should be it. Yeah, I think this is basically looks like good syntax. I'm hoping. Yeah, so this is a good start. And then when I'm looking at the input, here, get possible connections. So I also need. So now that I have if everything works out, I also want to compare if filter in place, right? Filter is matching or filter non-matching? Okay, so this means you need to remove it. So if I don't, so that means also I need that e dot get cold expression. And oh, now I need one does the same thing, but just returns the value, the actual vector. So get all cold expression or something const. This is not virtual. This will just return, or actually expression pointer results. This would do all the recursive stuff, and then I would return the results. Just get all cold expressions, and I need to check that the cold expressions contains owner. Is that true? It's weird that I'm holding this as expression. I think I should be able to compare this with an expression pointer, right? Is this correct? Can I compare a pointer ID with a T star or something? Yes. Okay, this should work. I think it should work. It's quite a complicated expression that happens here, so I probably should move this thing into, you know, like a clean function or something, because this gets quite complicated. I probably need something like, I don't know. We'll see in a second. But what's the best way to refactor this? The idea is that there's all these preconditions that would prevent. Here you go. I thought I did something wrong. Contains. Yeah, so the vector needs to check if it compares the expression pointer. So it says it can, this is a sort of expression pointer. And it should, at least I thought, it should be able to compare oh. Wait. Oop, this would be const. This is the problem here, I guess, right? And while I'm here, let's also add operator not equals, which would return the opposite of operator equals. the reason this contains call that I've added to my vector requires this operator equals to be implemented for this particular time period. But now this compiles. Let's see if I got this correct. This could do weird things. Who knows? So the idea is that I want to have. Oh, this is awesome. This looks good. Let's see. Let's do something else. As a repeat function. Oh, this is great. Awesome. Let's add something here and add a transpose, and the inputs are the function. But now this is fine because this is from we'll take the function from A. Like there's no recursion. Let's try something else. Let's see if I can. This is probably not going to work. If I think I could still create recursion here from within this device, just because I didn't implement everything. Because if I'll create this append, yeah. So this still allows me to do that, like connect. Yeah. So I still need to add this implementation for things like the function call, I guess. And alternatively, I can also limit this to not allow. Probably a good idea. Kind of not allow things to be connected in the wrong order. Like, for example, I can say that something connected to this transpose object, for example. Something connected to this transpose object. Like I don't like the idea that this transpose can connect to, like this A can connect to B. I probably should prevent this as well, but this is already a good start. So let's first commit this. Let's say that. Oh, I added something to my library as well. So it's my pointer ID. Added const comparison operators for the when comparing with a raw pointer for uses like vector dot contains. Okay, it's good. And then let's commit this in the project. It says music lang added and to the algorithm that validates possible inputs, a way to look at the called functions from the function body, not body. Okay. How's everyone doing today? What time is it where you are? Stretch more. I'm definitely not stretching enough during these long programming hours. Wow. Okay, so it's 11 p.m. That makes sense. It will be 11 p.m. in Europe. Here where I am, it's middle of the day, but I've been awake since midnight or something. So for me, it's like I don't even know how to describe what it means for me now. Yeah, so I definitely want to make I still want to think of ways where I can validate better the order of calls. Maybe I'll wait with this a little bit. I want to look at Or's design for a second. He had this idea. I don't know if this is not his actual design, it's like a mock-up design, but I can probably do something like that, right? The thing is, I don't know how to deal with those. They said because the way they did it, these might extend the length of the thing because there could be 0 to more inputs on a device, on a function. I need to think how to do this kind of dynamic size for the object. I don't think it's something I dealt with actually yet in my library. Where I have a list of items, and each item could have a basically different height according to something. So I have not dealt with this yet. I've only dealt with lists of items with fixed size, and this would, I guess, complicate things a little bit. I'm not yet sure. Yeah, but I did say that he kind of connect. You see, first of all, he made this like a rounded rectangle. So there's two things. I can actually implement some of these things that he did. So first of all, there's this icon, right? This icon basically signifies the type. So this is a type called music or musical sequence, or I'm not sure how to call this. This type is an integer. This type is a bool, right? It has some markers. So I can definitely start with doing that. I have not shown the types in a clear way on the input. So let's start with that maybe, just so that we can slowly put in things that would make sense to the eye. So for example, let's say I would go to, in the UI code, let's call this let's say, right? So I have multiple function inputs. No, these are actually the inputs on top, but those are actually similar, right? I think he designed that as well. Don't hate, arpeggiate. We have all these funny names when you put these ideas in place. Who knows if which one of those would kind of remain? But those are just things we put on so that we will have some idea of what the product is about before we know what it's about, which is where we are right now. Like we know some essence about it, but not everything. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Yeah, so I can really start with just the color. It could be nice just to have a fill color. That would be I guess a start, because I don't have the icon just yet, and I don't want to. But I can at least, when I create. Well, so first of all, I have the function inputs. That's one way. So I should be able to function inputs as a list of function input. So here I should just create something that's like a I should probably create it as something generic, because it's gonna repeat a few times. So I'm gonna just start with, it's gonna be the silliest object ever. It's gonna be something like function type background, just to create a color. It would have this thing called generic solid fill, and it would get the color. There's going to be a function here that says color, get color. Yes, I'm using both the English and the American ones combined, const. Here I would have the graph. Graph is a pointer to the graph object. No, sorry, it's not going to be a graph. It's going to be an expression, DSP expression pointer. Even that one is not so correct. I don't even need that. I can actually put in the actual type, like the type ID. Is that what it's called? Or type info? I don't even need to store this. Actually, I can just pass it. Let's see, get type. I have this thing where different expressions report their type by being a const std type info reference. So I can just ask it for the reference, honestly. and I can just have this as a free function. So this will be just a free function in the helpers thing, which would do, let's call it get type color. If the type equals to type ID of int. That's how it's spelled, type ID of int. Yeah. So if it's an int, then return, let's see which colors it use. I have this nice color picker in my Mac. Ooh. Oh, I think does that. Okay. So I have a zoom somewhere, but I don't know if I do. Does that show? Okay, so the Mac has this app called Digital Color Meter. Let's see exact colors. This will probably not be the final colors, but it's gonna help. So green color is 62, 115, 56. So return color from RPG or from RGB. Which one do you say is? (62, 115, 56, 62, 115, 56). And I don't want to handle all the types now, so I'm just going to assume that the music type, which is everything else, is going to be the other type from RGB. 63, 35, 98. 3, 35, 98. So this will give me the type color. I'll fill later with more colors for more types. And then here on initial edition, I should say background should take a const std type info, and the fill get type color. Info. That's how I would initialize this. Fill. Resize. So this is just only a simple helper component that I can use with an ID. It's going to put the right color in. I already know a couple of places where this is going to be used. So let's start with the function inputs. So each function input would have this basically as a background. So let me just use this. BG initialized with the expression get type. Is that correct? No, it's not get type. It's get output. That's the one. Get output. Got this and this. Okay, and then let's add the BG to the screen. BG. And make them the same size as the container that holds them. Next up, I need to do that in the I think this is it, right? No. Yes. Yes, single inputs. This is the actual input on a function call, basically. So this would be same here. And helpers just type. What do we call this function type background? Yeah, let's remove this BG. Yeah, I think just replacing this BG with the other, I just need to initialize it with the input dot get type. See if what I've done is anywhere close to being correct. Okay, so I got those here. These did not work. Maybe there's some background here that covers them. Ooh, that's nice. I need to make sure that I can't delete this thing that I'm touching. But yeah, so you see now it has types. This is purple. This is green. Like these are the to represent the types. Now it's the same color as the titles. That doesn't make any sense, so I should just change it to another color, same as here. But actually, no, this is correct. This is the type of function, right? Is this correct? Is this where I've used it, really? No, this is not correct. I should also see these greens here. And I think also forgot to make sure that my background does not take over mouse events when the parent to handle these mouse events. So where's in my function input, I should also see this BG. Maybe I'm not showing it. BG. I am showing this. Expression, get output. I think this is correct. Oh, wait. How do I call this? Block display. Block display shows block inputs. Okay. Single input. Single input shows the BG. Here it is add children, but scale to fit looks good. Text box does not have any extra background to this. So why am I not seeing this? I should be, first of all, I should have it now. Yeah, now I can click this, get the pop-up menu. I'm not sure why this is covered. Am I painting on top of this somehow? Let's see if a new one is going to get created. Here it is. Which type did I get? Type is. Oh, it's going to tell me. C++. Let's see exactly what type goes in here. Type int. Yeah, it should give me the int color. That seems correct. That seems correct. So why, oh why, when I'm going into here, I am not seeing what I should be seeing? I should be seeing something like everything looks initialized. I'm showing this, but maybe I'm also this is correct. What have I missed here? I mean, the color itself looks correct. There's a text button here, that's fine, I guess. See the name of the function input, or wait, maybe that's not it. Maybe that's it. This is one, is it? BG get type resized. Add children, background text, text background. Okay. Everything looks correct so far. Or maybe the input is not reporting its type correctly. Let's see exactly what goes in here. Okay, let's see what came in here. Okay. Okay. So this returns purple. Add new inputs. Coming in here. Yep, looks like I'm returning a color. So everything here looks pretty good. I don't think I missed anything out here. BG is shown here on yeah, so it is function input. Okay. What am I missing? Why am I not seeing color? What could be covering my color? See, it looks black for whatever reason. This should be green, I believe. Right? This should return green. Yeah, the type. This is what I'm thinking. So, where is it? Give me the green. Function input. What am I missing here? It looks so weird. Everything looks correct. I see it. I'm guessing something draws above it or something. What could be drawing above it? Just for a start, for a test, I'm just gonna put the background in front. See if it's gonna change anything. Okay, so the color is correct. So it looks like something. Maybe it's the button or something. Because I mean, there's just one thing here, the text button. Maybe this text button has a background. Okay, there's a background on the stupid text button. Okay. Why did I make this text button have a background? This is like some default thing I'm using for like testing. Why did I add a background to it? There's no reason to do this. The frame, maybe. Yeah, but I don't know if I want to do this background thing. Although maybe I'm using it for something. Let's what's this background color? Where am I setting it? Set colors. Okay. Okay, I'll just do something. I don't like that. I don't like that I did that. But this thing is probably used in like a bunch of my testing apps. I guess maybe I'm counting on the fact that this thing is a background. This thing will never be used in production, but still. I'm using it in a bunch of my testing apps, I guess. Do I have something? What do I have in there? For now, I'm just going to create something. Oh, you know what? Let's go back there. Let's go back to text button. I'll do the silliest thing I can do. Just say structs. Let's call it transparent. Text button inherits from text button. And it's just going to do a paint, or I can just do something like constructor. Text use functions. Okay, and then I'll just set colors. I think this should be transparent, right? Transparent and colors white. Text button transparent. Probably searchable, easier. For those just joining in, I am working on this algorithmic composition program in C++. For now, I just made sure that I have colors here. Delete, rename, external. Okay, that's good. There you go. I knew I would crash at some point, but that's good. So, music lang, added initial colors for types. Okay. Ooh. Okay. I will be back in a couple of seconds.